Hey everyone, today we're talking social media and we're talking doubling down on the social media that's working for you. I, to this day, don't understand why people don't do this. And I'm telling you, the fruits of doing this are huge. So I'll give you a great example. This is a very, very recent example. Pinchofyum.com. This is a food blog which in a fairly short time, not super short, so don't get your hopes up. It's not that easy. In a fairly short time, they were able to make six figures off their blog. They post amazing recipes, amazing pictures of food, and it's incredible. And in the last month, they made $30,000 in that month alone from their food blog. Now, that income comes from a lot of different sources, from affiliates, from sponsored posts, all this stuff. And this is just one of the hundreds of other examples that I think prove that there is tremendous opportunity out there and it gives you hope. Anyhow, the point of this is that it's incredible because this blog, first off, its income is growing every single month. And more so than that, it gets about 500,000 views from Pinterest and 500,000 views from organic Google search. Now, here's where it's kind of interesting. I really do think that this blog could get twice, if not three times more traffic if it doubled down on Pinterest. It gets most of its traffic from Pinterest. However, what is their whole perspective behind this? Well, they recently said that they were looking to get more and more traffic from Google because they think it's more sustainable. You know, you don't know what's going on with social media platforms. It could be here one day and gone the next day. And here's the thing. Everyone keeps referencing Myspace. It's always like Myspace this, Myspace that. This platform could be another Myspace. YouTube and Facebook and Twitter can be gone in a year. And arguably there is a certain level of truth to that, and that is why you should hedge things, and that's why you should actually grow followings and email lists so that you don't lose everything. And I wrote a entire article on this today. It's about how I grew a blog to have millions upon millions of views, hundreds of thousands of people that visited every single day, back when I was a little kid, back in the starting stages of the internet. I love this game and I made a niche blog on that game, and through SEO and a lot of hard work and many years, I grew that into a huge following. And then one day, because I posted one affiliate link, WordPress shut me down because I didn't choose to make my own domain name, and therefore I had a free domain name under WordPress, and therefore it was, waytex.wordpress.com, and therefore it was hosted by WordPress and they had control over it. And therefore, because it violated their terms of service, they shut me down and I lost that following and access to all those followers. And I have a whole article, which I'll link in the description below if you want to check that out, on how that happens, and it sucks. Anyhow, the point is you have to double down on the platform that's working right now. And obviously, I understand, it's important to hedge one specific source of traffic because you never know. However, for the time being, and I'm pretty sure, generally speaking, most platforms, they're pretty good. They're in the green light. Pinterest, I think, will be around at least for another half year. And I mean, for someone who's getting 500,000 visits per month from Pinterest, I just think it's such a stupid idea to not be spending any time on there. And so basically, their whole perspective is, oh, we just want all of our traffic to come from our organic Google. And so we're doing more and more to just get more traffic from Google search. And it's working. And that's their whole thing, like less and less from Pinterest, more and more from Google. But in reality, if you look at the numbers, what's going on, and again, they post all their income and statistics on their website every month, which I think is great. It's very transparent. But what's really happening is the Pinterest volume is still there from what I can tell. I could be wrong. And simply the Google search is growing a little bit. And if I were them, like that would be like a golden situation for me. I would just be spending a lot of time on Pinterest. And from looking at their website, from what I can tell, they're not doing anything to promote Pinterest. In fact, they have links to all their other social media except Pinterest. They have a link to Instagram. They have a link to Twitter. They have a link to Facebook, even though all their traffic's coming from Pinterest for the most part. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I would double down on Pinterest. I'd be spending all my time on there. And I'd be going on different boards, creating pins, spending all this time. And basically the strategy behind Pinterest, and again, this is not my bread and butter. I know more than the average person on Pinterest, but with most social media platforms, you'll realize that there's a lot more work on the back end than you'll realize. And the same thing applies for YouTube in terms of tagging, description, watch time, all that stuff. Same thing for Pinterest. And therefore, I only have so much time to do so much, and therefore my medium is YouTube. But I have dabbled in Pinterest, and I know all the small nuanced things that most people don't. Not all of them, because I haven't devoted myself to that platform. But if I was getting a lot of my traffic from Pinterest, I would double down on that, especially 500,000 views per month on there organically. I would be spending a lot of time on Pinterest. And the general strategy right now for Pinterest, from what I can tell, is that first off, Pinterest is amazing because it is evergreen content, and it has something that only I think YouTube actually does well, which is that if you put something on Pinterest.com and then you come back to it in a year, there will still be potentially tremendous traffic coming to it. And it works especially well for seasonal things. So Christmas type things, every year it's somehow rediscovered, especially Christmas type fashion, Christmas type stockings, Christmas food, anything really. It's just very seasonal, and you can get enormous bursts of traffic even though you posted it many years ago. And that same thing can't be said really for Instagram or Facebook really. So that's incredible. And the second thing I want to say about Pinterest is that what you really want to do is create a huge following by building up reputable boards. So boards are basically like a compilation of a theme that you want to keep to for things you pin. So basically, if I was Pinch of Yum, I would either, outsource it for very cheap and tell them exactly what to do, and then like tell them all the specifics of Pinterest, which they may not know. But I would outsource it or do it myself. Personally, I would do some of it myself just because I'm really excited about it. If I was in control of Pinch of Yum, which I'm not, so I mean, they don't have to take my opinion. But I would double down on that for sure and spend more time on there. I would create my own organic boards with different themes surrounding food blogging. So stuff on maybe just food in general, or specific types of food, snacks. And I create specific boards for each of these things. And then I pin a bunch of high quality pins and content from a bunch of other users. And therefore, I think that's very key in of itself. You can't just spam pins on just your stuff alone. That doesn't work. So you do a lot of organic quality stuff, and then you do a lot of like tactics. Some of them may be a little sleazy. Some of the sleazy ones you don't have to use, but there's stuff like following a lot of people, and then they'll discover you and so forth. But if you just post quality stuff and so forth, and you create a Pinterest account called Pinch of Yum, you can grow a following, and then from there you can possibly double or triple or quadruple your traffic, which is just amazing. I mean, you want that for your blog. You want to help your viewers, your readers. And I just think it's like, what are you doing? Like, they're already doing so well, but I really do think that they could do a lot better. There's always room for improvement. And I guess the biggest reason that I think this will work really well is the fact that they already have tons of content on their blog that has proof and evidence to be very shareable, high quality content that people of Pinterest want to share with other people. Like, that's something that people strive towards on every platform. And you have that. And you're not doubling down on it. Like, literally, I would be on Pinterest all day. And I mean, that's just my opinion. It could be wrong. So that's all I got to say about pinchofyum.com. And it just goes to show you that's the power of social media, really. I mean, 500,000 views just organically from Pinterest. And right now, all I see of them on their website, on their blog, as far as Pinterest goes, are one plugin, one WordPress plugin installed that pretty much allows you to, like, allows viewers and readers to just hit that pin it button so that you can pin photos from that blog, which is great. It probably contributed to a lot of the original Pinterest traffic, but I think a lot more can be done. That's all I gotta say. As always, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment and I might choose your comment to be answered in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.